The president appeared on primetime television and labeled Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett a low IQ individual. Within hours, the narrative had shifted dramatically against him. The studio lighting was harsh and unforgiving, exposing every drop of perspiration. The atmosphere crackled with tension that viewers could feel through their screens. President Donald Trump was midway through his evening interview with a prominent news anchor. Questions circled around Congress's latest health care initiative, and one name kept surfacing: Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett of Texas. The anchor pressed forward, seeking Trump's thoughts on her proposed rural medical facility funding legislation. Without hesitation, Trump smirked and declared, "She's a low IQ individual. Everyone knows it. Not a serious person." The words hit like thunder. No wavering, no uncertainty, just a direct attack broadcast to millions. The anchor froze momentarily, caught between challenging him or moving forward, but the president had already shifted topics, dismissing Crockett's efforts as trivial. Within moments, clips flooded social media. Phones buzzed across Dallas offices, Phoenix cafes, and living rooms from Portland to Bakersfield. People texted frantically asking if others had heard Trump's comment about Jasmine Crockett. In an Austin bar, television switched to the replay, dividing the crowd between those who laughed dismissively and others who gripped their drinks tighter in frustration. The phrase low IQ was trending nationally before the interview concluded. Jasmine wasn't watching live. She was in a late committee session, reviewing amendments that could direct millions to struggling medical facilities in rural Texas, Arkansas, and Oklahoma. Her phone illuminated repeatedly with messages from friends, allies, and reporters seeking comments. Her chief of staff, Lionel Vargas, entered quietly and whispered, "He called you a low IQ individual on live TV." Jasmine blinked, processing slowly. "Excuse me?" Lionel nodded grimly. "It's everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, cable news, going viral." She set down her pen as committee discussion faded to background noise. She'd faced criticism before, policy disagreements, partisan attacks, personal jabs, but the president calling her low IQ publicly and unprovoked was different. This wasn't just about her. It was about those she represented and communities depending on her work. By 9:45 p.m., news banners blazed, "Trump calls Crockett low IQ in live interview." Pundits debated whether it was calculated or another spontaneous remark. Supporters defended it as straight talk, while critics condemned it as beneath presidential dignity. Her constituents rallied online. A Lubbock teacher posted, "She's fighting to save our only hospital. If that's low IQ, I'll take it." An Amarillo nurse wrote, "Met her twice. Smartest person in the room both times." The noise built, but Jasmine remained silent. She knew her response required careful consideration. React hastily and appear emotional. Wait too long and let the insult define everything. At home with her husband Terrence, chamomile tea sat untouched between them. "You've got to address it, Jazz." "Can't let him set the tone," Terrence said. She leaned back thoughtfully. "I know, but it can't just be defending myself. I need to turn it into something bigger." The television replayed the clip repeatedly. She wasn't angry exactly. It was sharper, more focused. She thought about rural hospitals closing, bipartisan meetings she'd navigated, constituents whose communities depended on her legislation. If the president wanted to call her low IQ, she'd demonstrate exactly what that had accomplished. Dawn brought the clip to full cultural flashpoint status. Every major outlet covered it. Cable anchors filled morning hours with heated commentary. Social media split between hashtag #StandWithCrockett and hashtag #TruthHurts. In Amarillo, bakery owner Brenda Valdez posted a video while decorating, saying, "If Congresswoman Crockett is low IQ, then intelligence means doing work others avoid. She's visited here twice about keeping our hospital open." The video garnered 550,000 views overnight. Jasmine's office phones rang constantly. Communications Director Elise juggled calls from every major network. "CBS this morning wants you for their 7:30 slot tomorrow." Elise reported. Not yet, Jasmine replied. We're not jumping into the circus. I want to think strategically. Local radio picked up the story nationwide. In Flagstaff, hosts launched discussions on rural healthcare funding. In Toledo, stations took calls debating whether politicians should respond to insults. A Dallas Marine veteran called a conservative show saying, "I'm not Democrat, but calling her low IQ doesn't match what I've seen. She visited my VA clinic, asked hard questions, delivered action." By midday, What Low Looks Like trended, showing Jasmine visiting disaster sites, leading hearings, meeting clinic patients. The message was clear. The insult was backfiring. Conservative commentators mocked the overreaction, arguing she was exploiting it politically. One host aired cherry-picked speech stumbles, asking sarcastically, "Is this brilliance?" Jasmine's continued silence worked favorably. Commentators speculated whether she was crafting a major response. The anticipation made people pay closer attention. Lionel found her staring at the Capitol dome. "They're eating themselves alive out there. Say something now, you'll own the cycle." "I'm not here for news cycles, Lionel. I'm here to win arguments. That takes more than sound bites." The next morning, her office resembled a command center. Hallways clogged with aides, reporters, photographers. Security was tighter. In her conference room sat Lionel, Elise, policy advisor Marcus Moe Rankin, and Terrence. "All right, I've seen everything. Where do we stand?" Jasmine began. Lionel reported supporters framing it as disrespect toward her district, while the White House pushed that she was oversensitive. Moe warned about the trap. Respond emotionally and prove their point. Don't respond and appear weak. Elise suggested keeping focus on the hospital funding legislation to flip the narrative. "Here's what we do," Jasmine decided. Press conference, early evening today, framed as a hospital bill update. I'll address the insult as a footnote. The rest is about the work with real numbers showing what low IQ has accomplished. The team dispersed with assignments. Jasmine knew Trump's words were meant to diminish her, but played right. She could turn the insult into a spotlight. By afternoon, the hallway outside her office was packed with reporters. Capitol security roped off sections to maintain access. Every time someone emerged, microphones rose like sunflowers following light. The president had doubled down on radio, repeating low IQ and adding she didn't understand basic economics. "Good," Jasmine said simply. "He's setting the stage for me." Word spread about her 6 p.m. press conference. Cable news shifted to countdown clocks. Analysts speculated about her approach. Standing before the mirror in a side room, Jasmine refused the talking points folder. "If I rehearse, it'll sound rehearsed. I'm giving them a conversation." Walking to the podium beneath bright lights, she looked not at cameras, but at faces behind them. "Good evening. I know many are here because of what the president said yesterday. Yes, I heard it. I'm not here defending my intelligence. My record does that. What I am here discussing is why such words matter. Not because they hurt me, they don't, but because they distract from vital work. Right now in Texas, 41 rural hospitals face closure. In Oklahoma, it's 11. In Arkansas, 8. I've visited these places, met doctors without days off in months, parents driving hours for emergency care." Her voice grew deliberate. "If that's low IQ work, I'll wear that badge proudly. Intelligence isn't measured in insults but solutions. I'll keep working with anyone, Republican, Democrat, Independent, who wants to solve problems. To those watching, don't just watch. Stay involved. Demand better. The moment we accept insults as substitutes for answers, we've already lost." She stepped back without notes, teleprompter, or lingering for questions, turning and walking away as reporters erupted in overlapping shouts. Within minutes, anchors praised her composure, while others questioned if she'd gone far enough. CNN called it a masterclass in composure. Her trending continued with hospital stats being shared widely. By 8 p.m., the internet was saturated. Clips appeared everywhere. Intelligence measured in solutions became a rallying cry. Late-night shows praised her composure while jabbing at Trump. Interview requests poured in from every major outlet. "I'll do a couple," she decided, "but I'm not turning this into a tour." The next morning, her press conference had taken on its own life. Morning shows dissected it thoroughly. Even conservative commentators noted her political skill. Hashtags like #measured and mighty emerged. TikTok videos of nurses holding hospital bed count signs reading "Low IQ saved these" spread rapidly. Senator Brian Kessler, a Montana Republican, tweeted, "I disagree with Reppers Crockett on almost everything, but stand with anyone fighting for rural hospitals." His partial support boosted her bill's Senate prospects. By noon, constituent groups arrived with homemade signs. The narrative had shifted from intelligence to hospital closures. The White House strategized countermoves. Trump complained she didn't even look mad. Advisors suggested challenging her statistics and voting record to shift focus. Conservative outlets questioned her bill's financial viability, framing it as taxpayer burden. When shown these clips, Jasmine didn't flinch. Good. They're discussing hospitals instead of IQ. Public support snowballed unexpectedly. Letters poured in from Nebraska farmers, West Virginia mothers whose hospitals closed. Town halls drew overflow crowds. A high school senior asked how she kept cool. "When you remember the why, noise doesn't shake you," she answered to steady applause. Editorials praised her composure nationally. Social media influencers explained hospital stakes using her speech. Even libertarian podcasts acknowledged her points while disagreeing on funding. Polling showed district approval up 6 points in 2 weeks. Independent recognition doubled. Walking through the Capitol, she met touring students. One girl approached shyly. "You made me want to study political science." Jasmine crouched to eye level. "Good. We need problem solvers, not point scorers." 2 weeks later, at a Dallas community forum, she addressed constituents without mentioning Trump initially. Some ask why I didn't fire back with similar words. Truth is, you can't heal communities by tearing others down. My job is fighting for you, not against somebody on TV. Words matter, but so do hospitals. She recorded a simple video from her couch thanking supporters, asking viewers to pressure representatives about hospital plans. Within hours, it was shared thousands of times. People posted responses from closed hospitals and crowded clinics. The movement transcended defending her character. It became about shared problems demanding solutions. Terrence observed quietly, "You turned an insult into national conversation." Jasmine shook her head. "We turned it. Every person speaking up, every letter, every town hall made it stick." For her, the real victory wasn't polls or headlines, but knowing the attack failed to diminish her. Instead, it enlarged the cause. The future belongs to those who show up for what matters.